Welcome to Overdrive AF, the official podcast of Overdrive Fitness. My name is Teddy Gurzon, and I'm joined with Gina Marie Gurzon.
Hi, what's up, guys?
As always, we have Titan and Brajol, and then Destroyer on the ones and twos, putting it all together. There are a couple cats in the gym. Macy Gray is chowing up front. I think we have Drifter and Abracadabra in the office, staying nice and toasty. Swagger, I think, is waiting for his massage in the massage room. And then, as always, Derek Jeter's somewhere. I'm just kidding. We also have Jason Vosler with us today. So we have two pro ball players in the gym today. All right. So yeah, we will definitely catch up with Jason. It's been Destroy. How long? It's been about a full year, right? Almost a full year.
Yeah.
It's been over 52 episodes since the last time. 52 recordings since the last time we had Jason on here, which was you were, I think, our second ever episode, right?
Yep.
And then also, I think that was our most downloaded episode, so props to you.
There we go.
We have somewhat of a Overdrive sex symbol in the house, so that's what's up. No, I'm kidding. But,
Hey, I mean...
So, yeah. Let's get an update from Destroyer. Speaking of athletes, let's get an update from Destroyer of how many jump shots he got up this past week. And how many marathons you ran in the past 7 days?
Well, it was pretty, wet and fucking frigid out this last week. So not a lot of jump shots or miles, but I think there has to have been at least one day where I worked in a 6 mile run.
I think you did, because I remember seeing it.
It was mainly at-home workouts this week.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got in probably 5 of those in one 6 mile run.
On the app, that's where we see everything on the app.
Got to sweat.
Yeah.
You got to sweat in. What about update on your, I'm sure you could chime in too, update on your transformation progress?
Still losing body fat and gaining some muscle. I finally got heavier weights in.
Nice.
So planning to add a lot more muscle starting now. I took a day off for Christmas. I didn't want to be
Of course.
ruining the party or anything. But I'm right back on track, so good stuff coming, I think.
Awesome.
All balance, right?
So basically, it's safe to say that, since the NBA season started, you haven't signed a 10-day contract yet. You might pull a full half Thor and then make the transition to strongman.
Yeah.
With the amount of muscle at the rate you've been packing on muscle, might as well, right?
I'm planning on throwing tree trunks over stuff.
Oh, Highland Games. I like that. Solid.
Because it's very manly to wear a skirt. It's very masculine.
It's a kilt.
Yes,
Don't be a dick.
A kilt, excuse me. But, I'm just saying.
And you're going to pick up the bagpipes in the off-season too, right?
I mean, half my family plays bagpipes, so that shouldn't be
Seriously?
hard. We're Irish.
Amazing.
The amazing half
This is true.
plays the bagpipes.
I should know that.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I mean, I've drank enough Jameson between the ages of 14 and 21 that I probably should already know how to play the bagpipes.
Yeah,
So I'm sure it's somewhere deep inside here.
It's like
My
a potion.
goodness.
So, yeah. And before we touch on the subject of updating with Jason, we've been covering some fat loss myths, at least the top 10 fat loss myths over the past, now this would be the 10th episode. And, so let's just wrap this up with our 10th and final fat loss myth that we want to debunk. And that is the myth that you should eliminate all fat from your diet. So, I can say right off the top of my head that that's nearly impossible. So you're not going to eliminate all fat from your diet. And there is a plethora of reasons why you shouldn't. Why would you say you definitely should not do that? If we're going to keep it short and quick.
Well, we need fat for hormonal processes to happen. We need fat to lubricate our joints. Brain function. It's also a secondary source of energy. It's not as efficient, but it is. Just for those 4 reasons, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big reason why we shouldn't.
And then I can say fat is delicious. So if you don't like eating
flavor,
delicious
yeah.
foods, then you're just an asshole. All right. So who doesn't like bacon? Who doesn't like cheese? And if you don't like peanut butter, then fuck you for being racist, because George Washington Carver discovered that. So You know, I guess if you don't like peanut butter, then you're a racist. Okay. If you can't eat peanut butter, fine, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't like it. Boom.
And all even those plant-based eaters, they love their avocado toast. So I mean, I'm just saying.
Avocado toast, Starbucks, and
guacamole.
If it's not a Prius, then it's an Outback. So, speaking of which, that's a great transition into the land that Jason will be traveling to soon.
Nope.
the land of granola and equality, right? So, just an update on Jason. I mean, we did mention it a few episodes ago, probably a month or two ago, whenever it was that you signed with San Francisco. But last we had you on the show, you were getting ready to head to El Paso, right? That would have been your second season there.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just in a quick update, the El Paso Chihuahuas, you know, they are the AAA team of the San Diego Padres. So yes, Jason was in the San Diego Padres farm system. You were not on the 40-man roster at that time.
Nope.
You had a great off-season training. That's not even just trying to speak myself up, but you did very well. Like, killed it, right? And then flew out to Arizona. You were on a tear. Like, you don't have to speak about it, but I will say it. You were definitely on a tear. The beat writers were saying it, so I'm not making that shit up. And everyone's like, who the fuck is this guy? And now all of a sudden there's a competition at first base. And, like, Hosmer wasn't doing great, but no knock on him. But you did make a name for yourself, and then fucking COVID. So, after that, you were in limbo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they sent everybody home, right?
Yep.
So you were home. You were working out in your garage.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the field, going to Nyack High School with your dad.
Yep.
You know, hitting, fielding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the season started back up, and with the spring that you had, everyone would assume that you would have been out there, and you weren't, right? So they did the 60-man roster, and they didn't call you immediately.
Yeah, I went out. They only took about 45 or 40 out of the 60 right away. So I was in, like, the second wave that got invited out.
Yeah.
So I did make it out there, but not right away. And that kind of scared me a little bit, but it was a couple weeks later, and then I was out.
And what was the reasoning for not taking you right away?
I don't know.
Financial? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know for sure. My best guess is that they were holding spots open in case, you know, if 4 catchers went down with COVID and they needed to bring 4 new catchers, if they didn't have any spots, then they would have to release guys and stuff. So my best guess is it was something along those lines, just kind of waiting to see what they need. Mm-hmm. But I would have appreciated it if I was a little clearer to me, because I didn't know what the deal was. But, you know, eventually I made it out there, and that was a pretty interesting experience in itself. I mean, we were quarantined for, you know, I was out there for 2.5, 3 months, quarantined to a hotel, and pretty much just practicing every day. Like, because I wasn't playing in the game, so we might have these little 4-on-4 scrimmages, but it was definitely a weird situation, but at least I got something in, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been worse, right?
Yeah.
You could have been here in New York.
Yeah.
At least you were in San Diego.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely a beautiful city. We were allowed to go to the beach if we maintained our distance. So when I say quarantine, it wasn't like a full lockdown. Like, so we went to the beach on our off days, and, you know, I mean, we're pretty much at the field all day anyway, so it wasn't too bad of a like, you weren't sitting in your hotel room for 10 hours a day. You were on the move most of the day.
That's cool.
That's good. Keep it busy.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So what'd you do for food?
Yeah, we weren't allowed to go to restaurants, so everything had to be Uber Eats or, you know, Seamless or all those apps. We got 2 meals a day at the field, so it was only 1 meal a day you had to worry about. But yeah, it had to be delivered to you. You know, everybody had their own hotel room, but, like, you could hang out with the other guys on the team. You just couldn't bring anybody else in. You know, you couldn't see family, you couldn't see girlfriends, whatever that was, unless they wanted to quarantine themselves as well. That's kind of how that process was. But yeah, I mean, it was, at least I was able to get 250 at-bats in this year instead of getting 0 if I was back here. So I didn't feel like I lost a year. I felt like I actually got better and improved and still played somewhat of a real season, even though it was not a real season.
I mean, you had as best of a groove as you could get into. You were able to, instead of, like, shutting it down for a full year.
Yeah. And there was definitely some positives that came out of it. I mean, since, we were playing these like 4-on-4 scrimmages, I was able to play left field, play right field, play second base, and get some more experience at different spots where the games didn't really matter as much. So there was no pressure. Like, if you screwed up in the outfield, it wasn't a big deal. It was more of like a learning experience. So it was nice to like get that kind of practice in a way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're able to turn a pretty big positive into it.
Yeah, no,
like
absolutely.
A really
absolutely.
shitty situation.
Yeah.
Did you have to wear a mask on the field?
In between the yellow lines, in between the white lines, in between the foul lines, no. But in the locker rooms, in the dugouts, in the weight room, all that, we had to wear a mask. But we wore those, I don't know what they call them, those cloth, like, pull-up.
The gaiters?
Gaiters, yeah. So it wasn't too bad, but, I mean, not ideal. That's for sure.
Those are definitely easier to breathe in compared to the disposable masks.
Which probably means that they do, like, next to nothing, but...
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, we had to wear them. And it got hot out there. And I know they always say San Diego is, like, the perfect temperature all year long, but it was hot. It was 90 plus degrees. Yeah.
I lived in San Diego. I lived in North County, San Diego for a year, and there was definitely some temperature.
Oh yeah,
change.
it got hot.
Like, definitely.
But no, I mean that was a beautiful
Not saying
city.
it wasn't beautiful.
Yeah,
it isn't beautiful.
It's beautiful out there. Yeah.
So yeah, now so you had that go on in San Diego. Now my question is, I don't know if we should jump around about this, but all right, so clearly you signed with the Giants, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when was that exactly? That was middle December, beginning of December, right? Or,
no, it was actually, I believe free agency opened up on like November 3rd or 4th.
Right.
And
okay.
I had a deal in place probably around the 6th or the 7th, but it wasn't official until mid-November because I had to go out there and pass my physicals and stuff like that.
Oh,
before.
really? You still had to travel out there?
Yeah, so I went out to San Francisco. I was
Nice.
there for 4 days. I had to do, MRIs on anything I ever got injured. I had to, standard blood tests and orthopedic exams. But for the most part out there, it was pretty cool. I got to explore the city. They took me around the ballpark and showed me the locker rooms and the weight rooms and all that kind of stuff. So it was a pretty cool experience going out there.
That's dope.
Yeah.
All right, so my question then is, clearly they wanted you, right? So you're on the 40-man roster.
Yeah.
So you're starting season with them.
Yep.
All right. Now, how did they keep up with you? Like, you weren't playing every day or even on the bench every day with the Padres this year. So like, were they able to scout you while you were all right? So like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No. So they, from what they've told me, they had their eye on me last season.
Got it.
And they actually tried to trade for me at some point this season, and it just didn't work out with who they were giving up or whatever. They couldn't get me. So the day free agency opened, they called me. They were super interested. I had a decent amount of calls from teams. I would say probably 10 teams right off the bat called, but the Giants were the only team who were like, hey, we want to get you on a call with the team's manager, Gabe Kapler. And I was like, whoa, that seems like different than the rest. Seems like they want me a little more. And then after that, it was like the hitting coaches were calling me and the GM was calling me and my agent was starting to get the sense like, hey, we might have a major league deal here. And it might have been the case with other teams, but we just didn't even get that far. Like once they offered the major league deal and, after they were so excited about talking to me and they had all these plans for me and they really knew things I needed to do to improve, like all that together, I was like, this is a spot for me. Because even the hitting coach was like, hey, I see this one thing that I think you could do better that's going to take you to a whole new level. So, like, they really got me excited for my own growth as a player, too. Yeah.
So they feel like you still haven't tapped into your full potential.
That's what it seems like. And it's
pretty
funny.
dope.
It's funny because they're almost being, like, a little, not cryptic about it. Like, they're obviously open, but I'm, like, anxious to see really what they're going to do, like, with development-wise. I'm very excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, who's the GM there? I can't remember.
Scott Harris, and he was actually with the Cubs when I was there. Not as the GM, he was in a different role.
Very familiar with you anyway.
Yes, very familiar with me. I think that probably helped in, he scouted me when I was with the Cubs back in 2014 to 2018. I don't know any of the other coaches, but after I signed or in that signing process, every single coach reached out to me and introduced themselves. So it seems like a really like first-class organization in that sense.
And who's your hitting coach?
They actually have a 3-headed monster, they call it, as a hitting coach. So there's, I think, maybe one of them's the main and one of them's not, but there's Donnie Ecker, Justin Veal, and Dustin Lind. And they kind of all have the system where they're all different, and they combined to like make one great hitting coach. And I really do like that system because there's 3 minds you can go to instead of just one. Or if if you're not meshing with one coach, maybe you'll mesh better with this guy, or this guy has a better idea for you specifically than this guy. So I really like it. And it seems like they all work together very well too.
It seems that that's the future of baseball right now.
Yeah.
Because there's what organization is it that they're doing that with their pitching? I forget what organization it is. They actually have 2 pitching coaches.
I don't know, but I like it.
And God, I can't. It's now that's actually starting to piss me off. I can't remember who it is. And like, I'm pretty sure it's not the Yankees, but it may be. I don't know. Or is the Indians or Twins? I don't know. But I'm gonna have to look it up after this. But with the future of all sports going so heavily into analytics, I mean, that seems like that could be one reason why it's like that. So.
And it also seems like, and again, I've not worked with any of the 3 guys. I've just talked to them, but it seems like one of them's maybe more analytically focused. One of them's more old school focused. One of them's so they do have different like expertises. And I think the best way to use analytics is kind of combining them with even the old school teachings a little bit. I really do think there's tremendous value in that.
Well, stats can only show so much. Like, you can get a lot of different stats. I mean, like Sports Center, for instance. So like LeBron broke the November 27th record of rebounds in a game. You know, with a left black sneaker. You know what I mean? So it's like there's
After
so much
having
out
pizza
there.
for lunch, or like
Yeah, exactly. While having 2 kids at home. So it's
no, they're exactly right. There's a stat for everything, and stats only really tell part of the story. And analytics, I think, in baseball, it's like, all right, you're doing this, and this wrong by the numbers. So it's like, all right, that's great to know, but how am I going to fix that? And I think that's where you need, maybe somebody identifies the problem, somebody helps solve the problem, and that's how I think they'll work together. At least that's what I'm thinking it's going to be like with them.
And Lynn played pro ball, right?
I'm not sure they're playing histories.
That name sounds very familiar to me.
Yeah, I know he has some sort of physical therapy background, so he's very, what's the word I'm looking at? Anatomy-based.
Anatomy-focused?
Anatomy-focused, yeah, which is interesting. I've never had a hitting coach that was...
That knowledge is very important.
I know. So I think
movement-based.
Exactly.
Maybe. That's big.
Movement-based. I think that's a better word for it.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting working with him, too. Because I think he did that before he was a hitting coach. I don't know his playing career,
That's
though.
pretty dope.
I'm sure he sees things very differently when he's working with you.
No, definitely. Yeah.
That's great.
I know. That's why I'm so excited to get out there and start working with these guys.
It's almost like the Yankees bringing in Cressy.
Yeah.
Except
exactly.
Cressy walked into a shit show.
With what, injuries and stuff?
Yeah, and everyone expected it to turn around within one season. It's just like,
I know.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. But it's gotten better.
Not to mention, it's kind of tough, too, when all the athletes go home to their own coaches, even though he's obviously one of the best in the baseball world. I'm sure, Judge might have a different trainer than him, or Stan might have a different, so it makes it tougher for him to control what's going on with everybody.
It's like, you know what you should be doing and what needs to be done, and then all of a sudden you see like Severino hitting a tire with a hammer.
Exactly.
Like, bro, you're a pitcher.
I know.
Like, mental focus training. It's like, oh my god. But yeah, it's like, just throw fucking 7 innings, please.
Yeah,
That's all we need. That's all anybody needs to say you do.
Doesn't have to be fancy.
Yeah. So, anything that you can think of that you want to ask? I don't want to hijack
No,
this
my
whole
God,
episode.
it's great. No, it's great.
I just feel like the more I keep speaking, then the less I think about this headache I have from my sinuses, which is also why I'm pretty jelly of the climate you're traveling to. So you're heading out to Arizona.
Yep.
Where specifically?
Scottsdale. So there's spring training facilities in Scottsdale. I got a nice apartment out there, and just moving out there to start getting a head start working with new coaching staff and stuff, because most of them are out there right now. Again, I'll be able to get out on a field where I can't really do that here in the winter, snow and coldness. So it'll be 70 degrees, sunny. They have all the facilities I could need. They have weight rooms, cafeterias, everything there. So it'll be a good developmental time, I think, especially with nothing really to focus on but baseball out there. Like, I don't, I'll have my teammates, but pretty much just be going to the field and back every day. So I'm really looking forward to that.
So, I sound like such a fat ass. I'm bringing this up again, but the food situation when you're in San Diego, Now, was that out of your pocket, the 1 meal a day, or did they give you a stipend for that?
Yeah, they actually give a pretty generous stipend. So like I said, they fed you breakfast and lunch at the field, and then give you $50 every night for dinner, which was more than enough.
Yeah.
Although those Uber Eats charges, they go pretty high sometimes with like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like delivery fee $5, taxes $5, tip $5. So you're spending like double for a meal. But no, $50 was plenty for.
You'd be surprised what I could do with $50 for food in one night.
Every night.
Yeah.
That's what we got. So
I would
that wasn't
remember
out of pocket. That part was nice.
That's solid.
Yeah. And
That's solid.
and we couldn't go anywhere either, so we weren't really spending much money.
I mean, you might as well order enough for like 2 meals, because like if you get hungry in the middle of the night.
Well, you know what I was even doing was these there was a lot of young prospects out there, 18, 19-year-old kids who talent of those guys were off the charts to be able 18 step into that situation. But I think they got a little tired of the meals we were getting. They were pretty repetitive for breakfast and lunch. So I just started taking theirs home, putting it in my fridge. So
Nice.
I was taking the meals from the field. So I was storing them up, and then actually, and then even some days, so we had to go watch the big league game every night in the empty stadium, and they would give us food there too. So some nights, if the team was home, we would get 3 meals a day and the $50. So
Fuck.
it was not a bad situation. And I personally liked the meals they were giving us, but some of the younger guys got a little tired of them.
Spoiled.
No, they were.
No, I'm
they
kidding.
just. I think they were just out there for so long, and I think they're coming off home cooked meals for 18 straight years. I think they get sick of, it was mostly like Chipotle type stuff every day, but which I was fine with.
Yeah, I mean, at 18, it's a big change. So I don't blame them.
No, and I mean, the way they handled it, I was like super impressed. How they were competing against major league players every day and holding their own at 18 years old and being away from their families for the first time, quarantined, tough situation, and they handled it unbelievably.
It's not being away like you normally would be. It's different.
It's different, yeah. Being away, quarantined in your hotel room, going to the field and doing the exact same thing 7 days a week. I would have gone nuts if I was 18, probably, but.
Hey, it's either that or virtual learning for college. So
that's very true.
Yeah,
that is very true.
I would take that any day. You could go back to college anytime.
We actually did have. Speaking of that, we had our own little virtual learning like twice a week. They would have an ex-big leaguer on Zoom giving us a lesson.
Really?
It was kind of interesting, and sometimes it was kind of like, I don't feel like doing this right now, but it was very cool. One guy would come on and talk about winning the World Series. Somebody would come on and talk about handling stress in the season or stuff like that. It was like a little educational college type class a couple times a week.
So what was the most interesting one? Are you allowed to speak about it?
Oh yeah, no, I don't think they were secret. I thought Steve Finley talking about winning the World Series in 2001, the Diamondbacks beat the Yankees. What was that?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was cool to hear from his perspective because I remember I was young, but I remember watching that game.
People forget that he was on that team.
Yeah, and he was good.
He was so fucking good.
He was really good.
He played center in that team?
He's a coach with the Padres now. Great guy. Tons of great wisdom. I mean, I want to say he played 19 years in the big leagues.
Yeah, he played a long fucking time.
Yeah,
the only Finley anybody ever remembers is Chuck Finley.
Yeah.
Because Chuck Finley's wife or ex-wife was the one that was, she was on the car for the Here I Go Again video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she beat the shit out of him.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so I guess they got in a fight, and I think she attacked him with her heels.
Oh my.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and this is why I remember this. So anybody that knows me knows that I love heckling pro athletes in a fun way. Right? Now, I wasn't a part of this, but when I was living in Illinois, I went to a White Sox game, and Chuck Finley was just pitching. I think he was an Indian at the time. And, yeah, the fans were pretty bad.
Oh, man. So they were ruthless.
Oh, yeah. They just kept bringing that up. It's like, you got beat by a woman, pussy. And I was like 14. I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, it's like,
I would never go there. Yeah, I like saying stuff like, you can't parallel park.
Yeah,
but cause
simple,
it's
funny stuff.
Yeah. This is like, why would he say that? Or your mother wears combat boots. Yeah. But no, wild. But yeah, Steve Finley. Yeah, that's awesome.
And I think the one reason why we didn't love doing it every day, but we didn't love doing it because we had to think of questions. So there's a lot of pressure to do that every day, and you kind of just wanted to play. Mm-hmm. But once you had your questions down and the thing was over, you'd be like, damn, that was pretty cool. I just talked to Steve Finley about winning the World Series. Or I just talked to Ian Kinsler about his key to staying in the big leagues for 12 years or whatever it was. And it was all through Zoom. So, I mean, it was pretty fun, actually.
Oh, Kinsler's coaching now, right?
With the Padres, actually, yeah.
Crazy. He was solid for a
long time. He probably played 15 years, too.
Mm-hmm.
14, 15, yeah. I mean, and he just retired last year. I mean, he had a great career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was Tigers, Texas, San Diego.
I remember at one point the Yankees were thinking about trying to get him. I was like, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Oh, and he won a World Series too. He talked about that with the Red Sox in 2018.
Oh, shit,
he got traded there for the second half of the season. Yeah.
Nice little gift.
Yeah, right. Little World Series. I think that was his only one. I mean, not only like that. I mean, winning World Series is very tough to do, but it's cool that he got there second half of the season to win that.
Didn't he play in the World Series too when
Texas.
Washington was the coach of Texas?
Yes. I think they went back-to-back years, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think they won. Well, no, they didn't win.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was a fucking great player.
Yeah. Oh, great.
But yeah, that team that Finley was on when they won it all. I mean, it was the Yankees were still in their dynasty at that point. So, I mean, the core four was still there. You know, you had Bernie Williams and Mariano. It's like,
and that was the walk-off one, right? Where
still buzzed them.
The little
broke
bloop.
The yeah.
What was his name?
Luis Gonzalez.
Luis Gonzalez.
That
yeah.
Motherfucker. Yeah.
That's like if the infield's not in, it's like a little bloop at Jeter at shortstop. It barely hit the outfield grab.
Yeah.
And it was a walk-off in the World Series.
And people were like, they'd be like, I can't believe Mariano lost that. And I was like, it was the perfect pitch.
He did everything right.
Perfect swing.
Everything right.
Like, if you would have hit a line drive, it would have been an out.
Yeah,
That was the only way they would have won in that situation, and he did it.
Yep.
Steve Finley was, like, so acrobatic in the outfield.
Yep.
They had Mark Grace at first base.
Oh, yeah.
Byung-Hyun Kim was their closer.
Kurt Schilling, too, and Randy Johnson, right? Was that those years? Yeah.
That was unfair.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
They had, like, Randy Johnson come in and relief.
Yeah.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And that was another Showalter team that Brentley took over. So remember, like, Showalter was notorious for, like, he would turn teams around. Another coach would come in and win a World Series. So, like, Showalter turned the Yankees around.
Joe Torre
comes in his first year, wins the World Series. Diamondbacks start his expansion team. Showalter starts it. Brentley comes in, runs a World Series.
I wonder, does he have a World Series, Showalter, or has he only been, like, the year before a World Series?
I think only the year before.
Oh, wow.
The only chance he would have had at winning was the Yankees were on a tear, I think, in 93, 94, and there was the Major League Baseball strike.
Oh,
so they actually finished the season as the number one team in the majors.
With the strike.
And I think the Expos were number 2.
I think that was 94.
Yeah.
Yep.
So which is crazy too, because so 95 they come back, they have a great year, but not great enough to where he could keep his job. I mean, they had fucking Tony Fernandez at shortstop.
Yep. And
Randy Velarde, I think it's second. But it's amazing what I can remember, but I can't remember to take out the trash, right? So
well, it's something about the teams you watch when you're a kid that you just remember, like, so, like, because I don't know, I feel like I looked up to those people when I was that age, and just like you remember every name and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was only a couple years old for, so not really those teams, but the early 2000s Yankees, even the late 90s, I remember pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those teams were great. Like, they had such great role players.
Oh, it was like the perfectly assembled teams. It's pretty crazy. They won, I think, like 4 out of 5 years.
Mm-hmm. They won 4 in 5 years.
That just doesn't happen.
They didn't go back in 02. They did in 03, right? And they lost to the Marlins.
Yeah.
Or was that 04? 03, 04, something like that.
03, I think.
That was crazy.
Yeah, because 04 was the Red Sox broke the curse.
How could I forget? Because I was a freshman in college at Syracuse, and I didn't know this when I had gotten there, when I was applying there, but then I'm walking around, I'm like, there's so many Red Sox hats here. It was like my first week of school at Syracuse. I'm like, holy shit, this student body's like 60% masshole.
Yeah.
And then they fucking win.
Oh,
and then there's a riot on Marshall Street. So anyone's been up to Syracuse, there's a campus, and then there's a street just off of campus, right? It's like, so like there's the Shine Center, there's the Heinz Building, which looks like an Addams Family house, and then there's Marshall Street. Marshall Street was where all the bars and restaurants were. It's all the students went directly off campus. Fucking riot. Like, I remember seeing someone's WRX get stomped in.
Oh my god.
And then there were like trash cans on fire everywhere. It was like,
did it happen again in 07 when you were there? Because you were there again, right?
I kind of dropped out.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, no. It did happen.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I was still up there. But yeah, it's I was like, these fucking Red Sox. I was so mad.
Oh.
So,
yep.
Awesome. So, yeah, you got to speak to Steve Finley and Ian Kinsler.
Yep.
So now that's what I was getting at. You're heading out to Arizona early before spring training starts, correct?
Yep.
Now, everything out there is coming out of pocket from you, right?
Yes.
So it's good, but you spent the whole winter working.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So it works out. Right?
Yeah. And it's to me it's like it's a necessary expense. It's like investing in myself in a way, right? Where I want to start fielding ground balls in a dirt field a month or 2 months before spring training instead of usually it's like a week or two. It's like you just probably are not as prepared doing that for a week or two before. But again, financially in the years past, I couldn't do it. But this year it just seems worth it just to get out there. And I'm not sure how the meals will work out there yet. I would think maybe they might have some kind of meals there for us, but if not, we'll see. But either way, I definitely want to get out there early and just really start just getting after it before spring training starts.
So other major leaguers will be out there too.
Yeah, so there's a couple local guys, as far as I know. I don't know exactly who's there, but there's definitely guys who live out there all year round, and that's where they train all year round. And then, like I said, the coaching staff, I don't know if they live there all year round, but they're all they're there right now. So, I'll be able to work with that whole staff too. So,
That's
very,
awesome.
very excited.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
What else?
What are your parents gonna do?
Yeah.
They're gonna come and visit you.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, hopefully fans are allowed in the stands this year, and
Oh, that's right.
like who knows? But I'm assuming at least by some point of the year there'll be fans allowed and stuff. And I mean, usually my parents make it out to spring training. I don't know about this year if they're going to be fans in the month. Like that doesn't seem too likely to me.
Okay.
But if not, yeah, they'll find a way to visit and they'll get out there for sure. They're definitely very excited. They all their Christmas gifts were San Francisco Giants gear. And actually the Giants, right after I signed, they were very nice. They sent me more gear than I could possibly imagine for myself, but they did the same thing for both my parents as well. So I got this big bag of gear, my mom got this big bag of gear, and my dad got this big bag of gear. Yeah,
That's
so that was
awesome.
That was very nice of them.
They'll be
That
prepared.
was unexpected.
Yeah, they put up a Giants shirt up in here.
I know.
We'll make room for
Yeah.
it.
Wow.
Need it.
So, no, that's so super exciting. I'm sure there's gonna be fans. Like, I mean, I know lately, like for most pro sports, it just comes down to state by state legislation and regulations and stuff. But I mean, like even New York, they're toying with the idea of having 6,700 fans at a Bills game.
Yeah, I saw that. So that'll be good.
I mean, this is like the most regulated state.
Yeah.
I would say. When it comes to the corona restrictions, and rightfully so, like having everything restricted, but it seems like New York's just out of control with it.
It's hopefully like once this vaccine really starts rolling out to the general public, then states will start opening up slowly and will allow capacity. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, to see at the minimum like 25% capacity or something like that once the season starts, because I mean it doesn't start until April, so we still have 4 months before. So hopefully in 4 months things are more normal than they are now anyway. Yeah.
So serious question, when fans start going in the stadium, and it's just your opinion, I just want to see what you have to say about this, but how do you think stadium security is going to tackle streaking? Like, if the guy's wearing a mask or not, and like, will security have a mask?
Is it going to be
so
you? I think you encrypted yourself.
Yeah.
I was waiting.
I think you just you're guilty now.
Yeah.
So if someone's wearing a mask and they don't know who it is, I think we got
But I
we
mean,
got our
like, do you
culprit.
stop him, or do you just let him like run out of gas? Because usually they're not in the best shape.
No, I think they're using paintball guns or something. Just get them on the ground.
That's so awesome. I think I'm gonna apply for stadium security.
No, drone attacks to get the guy in the ground.
Yeah, right. That would be even cooler. It's like, why have teenagers been playing all these video games for so long? It's like, drone attack, trip them up.
God.
That'd be pretty cool. We
be
toyed
funny.
around with a drone on Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gina's brother got a drone, and we were messing around with it.
The dogs did not like it.
They
Titan
did not.
was
Freaking out.
upset.
Yeah.
Attacking it, trying to.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't drink and drive, but I was definitely drinking and flying that day. That was pretty cool.
gosh.
Yeah, a lot of
that's cool.
scotch, trying to figure it
Playing a
out.
little video game almost with a real life thing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
I only crashed it once.
All right. Not bad.
Speaking of which, how was your Christmas?
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to see both sides of the family.
Nice.
One side was a little smaller just based on my grandparents on my mom's side didn't want the full crew there, so they split it up into 2 weekends.
Okay.
And then my dad's side was pretty much the normal crew for a normal Thanksgiving. We just tried to keep my grandparents a little separate, but for the most part, it felt relatively normal. I don't know if I'm
Awesome.
supposed to say that, but it was
Try to be as normal as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really cares.
No, I know.
It's all good. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I
Right?
said, the people who are at risk, my grandparents, they kind of stayed 6-10 feet away from us at most times, and then
Yeah.
everybody else just all the healthy people had a good time.
But they were there.
Yes. they were
So
there.
it's like, I mean,
And I mean, it was
their choice.
It was completely up to them. If they didn't want it, we wouldn't have been there, but they wanted it.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You made the best out of it.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Absolutely.
That's all you can do in these times, right?
Yep.
So,
No doubt.
so you're heading out to Arizona. I mean, you've been working. So, I mean, this winter you were doing hitting lessons and coaching too,
Yeah.
or what?
Yep. Hitting lessons. I was doing a little bit of the Bosco or hitting camp in the winter, but they had to shut down because I think there's no group team sports or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that until in Jersey. But yeah, pretty much hitting lessons, hitting, fielding, lifting, just kind of doing the normal routine, and I'll pretty much continue that once I get out there. Same, but not doing hitting lessons, but the same off-season type routine. Just however they kind of want me to attack it, I'll kind of listen to them.
Except with a lot more sunlight.
Yes, with a lot more sunlight.
I'm so jelly.
Yeah.
And Arizona is definitely a great spot to be.
Yep.
better weather, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this time of the year too. I mean, I don't want to say it's cold, but I mean, it's just like the perfect January temperature where it's like, at night it gets a little chilly, maybe 40, but during the day it's 65, 70 degrees
So nice.
every day. It's just, it's a
yeah.
perfect January spot.
Now, you've been to Scottsdale before, right?
Yep.
That's where the Cubs were?
Yeah, the Cubs were about 15 minutes away from Scottsdale and Mesa, and then the Padres were about 40 minutes away in Peoria.
Oh,
but
right.
Scottsdale's kind of the main hub out there. So wherever you're going to breakfast or you're going to dinner, no matter where I was, we always went to Scottsdale for it. Scottsdale is an unbelievable city. It's awesome out there. I'm very excited to live there for a few months. I would say it's the best spring training city out of all the 30 teams. Now, I'm not too familiar with all the Florida ones, but it's definitely the best spot for Arizona, being Scottsdale. You're kind of right in the middle of all the teams. They get good fans at the games, all the restaurants and bars and breakfast spots, and all that is right in a small shopping, all small area. So I'm very excited to get out there.
Awesome.
Really, yeah.
Now, you don't have to get into specifics, but I'm just curious. So, like you worked your whole time you were here. You were home, and that's how you're able to save up, so you can head out there financially, not worry about it. But did they give you a signing bonus that also played into your decision to go out early, or?
No signing bonus, but just the prospect of the money I'm gonna be making this year too.
Yeah.
It makes me more comfortable of putting stuff on the credit card and
Yeah,
stuff like
okay.
that.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So, but no signing bonus for this type of deal. I think those usually don't happen until you're a major league free agent, which I was a minor league free agent that signed a major league deal. A little confusing, but after 6 years of major league service, then you can kind of get those signing bonus type deals and stuff like that. But yeah, no. So I'm just. I put the rent on the credit card and stuff like that. I'm a little more comfortable doing that now. Yeah.
Clearly, you're smart with your money.
Yeah.
You didn't pull like a Pat McAfee and buy a fucking Escalade with 22s on it the day he got drafted.
No.
You heard that story, right?
I heard something along those lines.
I told you that story, right? Pat McAfee. You ever hear that story? Pat McAfee, he got drafted out of West Virginia. So he was a kicker that could punt. And you know what Pat McAfee is, right? Yeah, so then he gets like, and then he fucking... He's like, yeah, I called up the dealership, and I'm like, I want an Escalade with 22s. He's like, and I got it before I even got paid. He's like, so my agent was able to work a deal out with a dealership where they're like, listen, this guy's going to get money. Just give him the car.
He'll give it to you.
We'll get it to you immediately. Oh, yeah, sure. He's like, and I did that just because T.I.'s song was, I'm sorry, it was 20, the 22s or 24s, whatever. T.I.'s song is like, it was out, and he got it just so he could blast it and drive around town with his boys.
That's awesome.
And he just played that one song on repeat.
That's awesome. Good for him. No, yeah, I'm definitely not pulling any of those type moves. I got a very modest apartment out there. It's a little 1 bedroom, 1 bath, probably like
Perfect.
500 square feet, if that. So no crazy moves. Just enough to live out there.
Nice.
Some shelter.
Nice.
You're probably going to be there anyway.
No, I
You're
know.
gonna
I'd be at the
working
field all day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's
you can
so
sleep,
awesome.
shower, eat, whatever.
Exactly.
That's
That's
all
it.
you need.
Yep. And the Giants have the rest of the amenities I need with the facilities I'll be working out at. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
PS4, Xbox, PS5.
I'm not really a video game guy. Never have been. Nothing
Nice.
against them. I don't play them. So
I felt that look come real. So.
I wasn't sure what he was going to say about that.
No, well, I mean, for a while I wasn't, and then the lockdown started, so I was like, if I don't find something to preoccupy myself, then there's definitely Gina's gonna murder me. So the lockdown started, and I wound up with a PS4 because we were like, well, shit, we have the gym, but no one's coming in.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do? So one day at the beginning, I was like, Gina, you said you need gas, right? And she's like, yeah. I was like, all right, we'll go to Jersey, get gas, and we're gonna stop at GameStop real quick right across the street. She's like, why? And I'm like, I gotta get a PlayStation. I gotta do something. But now this is pretty cool because I guess I might as well buy MLB The Show because you'll be in there.
I'm in it already.
Yeah, you're in it already.
Yeah.
Apparently, someone told me, and
Yeah.
then they're like, "It doesn't look like Jason, but it is Jason."
I think hopefully as I get some big league time under my belt, maybe it'll be more realistic of me.
Yeah.
maybe a better picture, better, more accurate rating or something like that. I don't know what any of the ratings are or anything, but
I've never played it, but now I have a reason to. I usually only play one game.
yeah, I've never seen it either. I've never played it.
I've expanded my palette to 3 total games
Ooh,
now.
nice. Which ones?
So it was always Madden.
Okay.
Then I got Formula One racing and Call of Duty.
Okay.
I got into Call of Duty.
Yeah, I think I've never been good at video games, so I just never got into it because whenever I tried, I'm terrible. I'm like, this sucks. I hate it.
I was only ever good at Madden.
Yeah.
And that was a little side hustle in college. I would so it was PS2 at the time, and yeah, I would fucking hustle people. They'd be like, "You can play with the Jets?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna play with the Jets."
$20.
And I would literally talk shit as I was picking my plays because I had the whole playbook memorized. I'd be like down, left, right, whatever. I knew what every play was. And then I would just I would lose by 14 on purpose and then win by 42 the next game. Like, thanks for the $40. I just covered beer for 4 weeks.
That's awesome.
So,
The important thing.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I mean,
Especially when you're in college, that's all the important thing.
30 case of Keystone or Natty Light was $10.
Crazy.
$40 went a long way.
Yeah.
That's why, the first $10 I did in college was actually I bought a set of clippers and I just started shaving my head because I was like,
Me too.
$20 every other week or every 3-4 weeks for a haircut, or shave my head and beer money.
I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. And I continue to do it today.
Yeah. So I would be like, shave and then throw on a hat, and we were Gucci.
Yep.
So yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, we would. If you knew me in college, we would not be together.
No, I probably.
So that's
not.
one thing that we definitely did alike in college. Another thing that I'm sure you definitely didn't do, but I'm not ashamed to say that I did was well, I mean, I'm sure you did it to some point, but I would definitely get a pump before I'd go out.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely a Jersey Shore move. Not ashamed to say that I did it.
I did it too. We had a pull-up bar in our
Nice.
dorm. Yeah.
Yes. See,
Of course.
it's real alpha male shit. That's why.
Yeah.
No, it's called being a guy.
Yeah. Get those quick
It's
gains.
t-shirt time.
Yeah. Then you start to realize these girls don't care about that. Fuck.
Oh.
Still not gonna stop doing it though.
Still felt good.
Yeah. But no, I'm fucking. We're definitely super excited. You're gonna be. I mean, it's definitely been an interesting journey. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you came up. I mean, we can even start with high school again, right? You're never the best one on the team in high school, right? You're always behind somebody. Like you were even behind Simon at one point, right? And you know he's older than you, but still, he was there in front of you. And then one of my best buddies from college, who actually went to Clarkstown South, I went to Nanuet. We didn't know each other in high school. His cousin is Simon.
Yeah. I remember us talking about that.
So
Actually,
that was crazy. And so then you wind up becoming the shortstop there, right?
Yep.
You go to Northeastern. All of a sudden, you start hitting home runs. Like, not saying you couldn't. But
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, this kid's hitting home runs. Go to the Cubs. I definitely didn't see you getting drafted coming, or at least not as high as you did, right? No offense. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I was like, you went to Northeastern, whatever. Very excited though. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I knew you had talent, but still, I was like, cool. Got fucking picked up at Northeastern. Playing for the Cubs. Chris Bryant's there. You play third base.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? Of course, now Chris Bryant's playing left field, and they needed a third baseman. Funny
Is
how
what it
things-
is.
Yeah, but then you get traded to San Diego. Looks like you have a shot at competing for third base. They signed Machado a week after.
Yeah.
So you're like, all right.
Yeah.
The best you could do is just perform your best. Worry about yourself, which goes for anything in life anyway. And you can only worry about yourself, control the things you can control.
And listen, I mean, it's not. I always say to people, like, there's always like, oh, it sucks, you're behind these people, but it's like, man, making the big leagues isn't supposed to be easy. Like, it's not a tough thing, and by no means is anybody like deserving of just an open free ride to the big leagues, right? Like, you got to work your way to it, and it's like one of those things where people always say, like, oh, keep playing well or keep working hard, and your opportunity will come or something like that. And I mean, it's true. If you play well, a team eventually will see you, hopefully, and want you. And that's kind of what's hopefully still happening on this journey, that I get some playing time this year and see what happens. But yeah, it's not supposed to be easy, so I'm almost glad that it was hard.
Yeah, I mean, it made you better.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
But it was, no, I mean, hey, it worked out. So, you're going to, I can only speak for what I've been reading, right? So, I mean, I want to hear it from you, though. So, like, what are the plans? Like, I know they have who? They have Longoria at third?
Yep, Evan Longoria at third, who was one of my favorite players when I was growing up.
Amazing.
So that's going to be a great person to learn from.
Yeah, talk about hustle.
Yeah, oh, no, just an absolute gamer.
He was healthier this year or what?
Yeah, I think he missed the first few, I could be wrong about this. I think he missed the first few games, but then played every game from, like, I think he ended up playing 55 games out of the 60-game season.
He's how old now?
He's about 35, maybe, if I had to guess. Obviously, hell of a career, borderline Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Him at third. You got Brandon Belt at first. And they kind of told me that they see me as, kind of a role player there, where I might get some at-bats against a right-handed hitter that Longoria struggled off of, or maybe I'll get some DH at-bats, maybe some second, and they kind of said, we're not promising you any playing time. It's going to be based off what you show us, which is, of course, what it deserves to be. That's the right way to do it. So, that's another thing why I want to get out there. I want to be ready for spring training. I want to put my best foot forward, that hopefully once the real season starts, I'm able to get some good playing time.
Yeah. And I brought up the injury history about Longoria also because, he's a great player. He's always was a great player, but it got to a point where in Tampa he kept getting hamstring problems. So, that's a big deal that he was healthy last year for the most part. But he is definitely getting older in the sense of a professional athlete. And I say that very seriously because, I don't think I'm old. I'm 35. I did have 2 instances of realizing my actual age in the last week. I was like, I'm 35. And then because I was talking to an athlete in here, not to take this off on a tangent, but the kid's like a freshman or sophomore in college, and I'm also his strength coach at Stack, and his father and uncle own Joe and Joe's in Pearl River. Yep. And I guess they have one in Nyack too. So and the Bronx, right? Whatever. So they have the one in Pearl River that I definitely know of, and one of their bartenders there was a bartender who may or may not have been serving me since I was like 17. And he was like, that bartender was like, he told him to say hi to me, and he was like, yeah. So he's like, I was like, oh, what's it like working with I call him Moni because his last name was Garamoni. So we always used to call him that. Myself and all the ones that were of age. And so he was like, yeah, so he was like, when I knew Teddy back in the day, it was like the age difference was like what it is to you. And I was like, yeah, so how long has Moni been working for you? For like 3 or 4 years? Like, once I turned 21, time just kind of like meshed together. And he's like, no, like, you've been working with us for 12 years. I'm like, oh, 12 years? That must mean that holy shit, I'm 35.
Just like a moment of realization.
Yeah, and then I got all my hair cut, right? And I'm at the barbershop at DSZ and fucking Nyack. And the guy, like I had a lot of hair, right? So he's like, I'm going to cut all this off and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I need a new hairstyle. And he buzzes aside, and I see he's like white, and I'm like, I'm 35. Well, like, it's pretty dope because, Longoria is 35. He's still playing, which is amazing because I know he didn't get hurt just from, sitting around. Like, he fucking throws his body around all over the place. And Tampa had turf, which is never great on your body anyway. But, I definitely think you'll have a lot of opportunities to play because, he's going to need rest. He didn't really get much of it last year.
Yeah, and we'll see kind of how it goes. I'm very willing, and I've made this clear to them too, to do anything. As far as wherever they need me to go, I'm happy to do that. Even if it's maybe outfield, second, first, DH, third. I don't care. I'll do whatever they want me to do, whatever is what's best for the team, whatever it's in my ability to do, I'm very willing to do. So I'm not really putting too much thought into where I'm going to be playing. It's kind of the same message I've kind of carried throughout my whole career. Like, hey, if I play well, if I play to the best of my ability, they're going to find at-bats for me. They'll find places for me to play. They'll find a way for me to contribute. And that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. And that's kind of how I'm approaching spring training. Not so much from I hope I can get at-bats here or there or there. It's just, no, I'm going to play. If I play well, if I do what I can, be like the best I can be, there'll be an opportunity for me to get at-bats.
Awesome.
Great way.
Yeah, and I know one writer was saying that, like, he predicts that you'll be rotating in third and second. Mm-hmm. So it was like, I guess playing second in college also helped you too. So
for sure. No, definitely. That's another reason why I want to get out to Scottsdale to start working, maybe some double play turns, because like I said, I did it a little bit this summer, but it's not something I've worked on a ton over the last 4 or 5 years. You know, in college, obviously working on it every day, but I've been mostly corner infield the last few years. So I definitely want to start working on that a lot because, again, if they need me there, I'd be happy to play there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's like, I'm sure you're good at it still, right? But it's like, are you smooth with it as a professional playing it on a daily basis? Like, you got to be ready to do that.
Yeah, probably not. I'm probably not right now, and that's hopefully in that 3-month span that I'm out in Arizona, I could get to that level again. And listen, going to second, I'm not saying it's easy by any means. I don't think any of it's easy, but I think the biggest adjustment will be the double play turn. More so, the throw is shorter and you got more time over there, so that part I don't think is too big of an adjustment. But just really hammering in those double play turns.
You're gonna have more homework now, right? Because you're gonna have to. I'm sure you already do it already, but just knowing like hitters' tendencies, like
you know what
they give you all that shit anyway.
Yeah,
right?
The analytics departments, they the last couple years they give you these cards, and you just pull it out. I'm sure you've seen players pull them out of their pockets, out of their hats, and they have numbers, and it's exactly where you're supposed to play. So the good part of that, you have no research on your own. It's just like, hey, it says number 2, you're playing in the number 2 spot of second base, or it says 2-1 or 2- whatever, like the numbers are, whatever they mean, you know exactly where you're going to play.
So is it kind of coded in case you lose it and somebody picks it up?
No, it's just so it's in like a small sheet.
It's like abbreviated?
Yeah, it's abbreviated because I don't think it's a secret. If I'm up and they're shifting on me, that's no secret to me. I could find that. There's no like hidden information on there. I'm sure maybe the pitcher-catcher signs, maybe those are different. Because I know they have their own version of it. Maybe. I've never seen that one. But ours are just, I think the Padres ones was just, like, I think it was like 0 was straight up, -1 was 1 to the left, +1 was 1 to the right, +2 to, and so on.
It's 3. Like a typical, like, numbering.
Yeah, so as long as you knew where 0 was on the field, everything else was easy. It was just one step over. So nothing crazy, nothing secret. But, it does take a lot of your research out of it that they have people that like dedicate their lives to that. I mean, that's their jobs.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So, anything to add? Anything to ask?
No, I think that was great today. Good job. Good job, Jason.
Yeah.
I really didn't mean to, like, speak so much. So.
No, that's okay.
I'll ask something that you wanted to ask for somebody else.
Single
or taken?
Single.
All right,
so
so-and-so, the initials LK, that's maybe watching this, he's single.
Single.
So, and we'll tell our sister, too.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so, I mean, shit, the Giants, that's so fucking dope.
Yeah.
I mean, never in my life would I thought I'd be buying a fucking Giants shirt.
Great colors, great logo, I love it.
Orange and black.
I love it, yeah.
Is it technically orange, or is it like they have like some weird name?
I think as far as I know, it's technically orange.
Yeah, because like the Steelers are like black and gold, and I'm like, that's fucking yellow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think it's black and orange as far as I know. Yeah, but yeah, beautiful city, beautiful ballpark, great uniforms, great organization. I could not be happier with where I ended up.
I heard that's like one of the best ballparks, like from a fan experience also.
It was
like the food and everything.
Really? I don't know that aspect of it, but it was like breathtatingly unbelievable how nice it was.
Too.
Just walking around, it was unbelievable. And then they got that McCovey Cove right out there. You hit home runs into the water.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Is that your goal?
Hopefully I can do a couple of those. Splash. Little kayakers go get them.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
A splash, bro.
Yeah.
That would be so dope.
Yep.
So pretty much like, you just stay. I mean, the uniforms are crisp.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome uniforms.
Yeah. You're going to take a tour of Balco when you're there? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
He will most definitely not. Let's make sure
Yeah,
that's on the
no.
record.
I'll go out to Alcatraz, though.
Hell
See
yeah.
a little old prison.
For the gram.
Yeah, exactly. Post a
Maybe
picture up
put
there.
a little caption of Sean Connery in there.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Rock. Who doesn't love Sean Connery?
I think Jason's had a really great journey of a lot of like trials, tribulations, and then, there was even with the whole COVID thing, and nobody thought that it was going to be such a long, like it was going to be so long and it was going to take so long, and
Yeah.
right, maybe 3 to 4 weeks or something, and then you pushed through this whole time. It's
Yeah.
awesome, and I think it gives a lot of the younger athletes and just anybody. I think it gives them. It helps them to maybe they need to refocus their energy and stay in touch with where they want to be and what they want to do. And,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know
yeah.
what I mean?
I mean, I also like to say it like, well, no doubt I've had lucky breaks in my life. I've also had maybe bad luck, but I like to tell people that, especially like the kids I'm working with, like, hey, listen, I wasn't like that good growing up. Like, I was always a good player on my teams, but I was never, I mean, you said it before, I was never like the stud, like, oh, there's Vosler's going here. I went to college as a walk-on. Like, there was no, so basically what I'm saying is like, we work hard, like things do open up and you do get better and you continually grow and grow. I mean, it's not easy, but it's a fun journey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So fucking, I mean, persistence, really.
Absolutely.
If you had to put one word into it.
Yeah.
Relentless, like a lot of those words, I think.
And again, it's fun. Like, it's not like I hate the work I'm doing. I'm putting it, I like going to the gym. I like hitting. I like fielding. I like doing all that stuff. So it makes it a lot easier to, I put almost work hard in quotations because I enjoy doing that stuff. So it doesn't feel like hard work.
You still have to put effort for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Right? I mean, and there has to be that passion there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think after a while, you could be sitting behind a computer making a ton of money, or you could be, on the field or swinging a bat or whatever. But if it's just monotonous for you and it's not what you love to do, then I'm sure it gets boring, and the drive maybe isn't there as much as it could. Some people really love punching numbers into a computer, even maybe and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
No,
anything.
You're right. It's that passion. It's almost like I almost love the monotony of it in a way of baseball. Like, I really enjoy like trying to make the simplest change to my swing, because like in my head it's always like, this is gonna be it. Like, this is gonna take me from this player to like this great player or something. So I do enjoy that whole process of the slow build, getting somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's almost I almost like the monotony of the whole game.
And monotony's not bad. I think when it's going to bring you to the next level or bring you to that next step, then where do you need to be? What do you need to do?
Yeah.
It's pretty much like cracking the code.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And I think it's almost like it makes, if you're struggling with that, it's almost like you're expecting like the quick results. With anything, like, if you're trying to lose weight or gain muscle, like, it's not quick, right? So you really do have to fall in love with the process of going with it. So, and I think, again, that for me I especially hitting, because that's like my favorite thing in the world to do.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy like the slow build just to try to make myself a better hitter.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's like, I mean, what you just said is, I mean, it goes almost all the way back to like one of the first few episodes where we said like, change your habits, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just, you straight up just bought into what a lot of people, successful people, say is just do the boring work. Like, you love the boring work.
Yeah.
But like, everyone always wants to know the shortcut, the tricks, this, that, and the other. But like, if you're always looking for that, you're always overlooking the shit that actually makes you successful.
Yeah,
And
100%.
Doing all the boring work all the time. Once you like nail that down, and it's like everything kind of just falls into place.
100%. Yeah, I tell a lot of the kids I work with that, they're like, what drills did you do to get better and all that stuff? It's like, well, I stood in front of a mirror, like, with no bat, nothing, just practicing, like, my stride and my load and my swing, and I still do that to this day. And it's like, to me, it's like, if you can't do that for 5 minutes a night, you probably don't want it bad enough, and that's, but like I said, I enjoyed that process. I liked going in front of a mirror and working on my swing, but just little tiny things like that, they really do build up and build. And, I credit those little things to making me kind of the player I am today. I mean, among tons of other things, but just those little 5 minutes a night in the mirror, 5 minutes a night or 20 minutes a night on the tee, 100 balls off the tee, whatever it might be, just little things that keep building and growing.
Absolutely. Oh my God. It's big.
Did you see Segras and Saviano on a daily basis?
Yes,
Nice.
I do. Actually, no. Segras probably maybe twice a month now. He doesn't come in as much, but Saviano every day.
Sean or Brendan Segras?
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what Brendan's up to anymore. Actually.
Yeah, I don't really know him. I really only met Sean last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you see Saviano like a daily basis. You
Yep.
said.
Him and his brother throw in that facility that I work out in.
Yeah.
They throw every day because I think his brother, he's a pitching coach at Stack, and his brother is I forgot where he goes to school, but he's a pitcher in college right now.
Yeah. Fuck. Where is he going to school? I don't remember.
Yeah,
But
I can't remember either.
I only know him because I see him at SAC.
Yeah.
So I was training them.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I liked him a lot.
Really nice.
I like him a lot, I should say. And then his dad is definitely a character.
Yep, Big Lou.
Did you see him there too or no?
No, I haven't seen him in a
Oh,
long
I was
time.
gonna
I used
say,
to
I
see him
didn't
at
think he was-
Premiere and
Yeah.
back in the day.
Mhm.
I think it was Premiere, maybe
Walking around.
24.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah. I remember him too. He was so bubbly.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, nicest guy ever too, and just huge.
Yeah.
like,
But-
how you doing, sweetheart? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think, because, shit, you're leaving, I mean, today is the 27th, but you're leaving in 4 days.
Yep.
So, how long is it going to take you to drive out there?
I'm giving myself 4 days to get out there, but I think I'll do it in 3. It's about 36 hours.
Okay.
So, thinking 12 hours a day and get out there. But I'm giving myself a little extra cushion just in case I got to stop early one night if I'm tired or something.
Yeah.
Because next Monday is going to be my first day out on the field. Or actually, it's going to be my COVID test. So then Tuesday is going to be my first day out on the field.
ooh, okay,
So, apparently he had to leave.
okay. What
That's
happened?
swagger, everybody. Something,
That was
I guess, when nature calls, right?
bathroom time.
You just, bolted out of there, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Well, then that
Interesting.
cat started moving at the same time. I thought something was going on outside.
Yeah, I know. But I was like, I didn't see Jameson all the way over here. I just saw whatever.
Oh,
That's crazy.
well, it's a party.
You have all your stops planned out where you're going to be spending a night and shit?
I just have the first one. Effingham, Illinois is a town I've stopped in multiple times on multiple cross-country trips. It's right off the highway. It's nice hotels. They got Starbucks and Chipotle's and stuff. So
Perfect.
about 12 hours away. So that's the first stop. And then after that, I'll kind of just wing it. Whenever I'm feeling tired, I'll stop.
What town in Illinois?
Effingham.
And then, so what highway you taking to go out there?
No idea.
It's not I-80, I assume.
I
think
honestly have no clue. I wish I could tell you. I'm so bad at
I doubt it
directions.
because I-80 would take you straight to Chicago.
Yeah.
I've done that drive a million times, so that's the only reason I know.
Yeah, I know it takes me through I know whenever I've done it before, it's Pennsylvania, Ohio, and then you start going south. And I think Effingham's the southern part of Illinois, and that's
Yeah.
when you start making your way down.
Nice.
Yeah.
A lot of flat and boring.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first part, is really flat and boring.
Yeah.
I
And
did
then
it
it-
once with my friend many years ago.
Also, when you get out to the Kansas, Oklahoma area
Oh,
too,
God.
it gets pretty boring there
Really
too.
boring.
Yeah. But
God, Bruce, we need good music or something.
yeah,
It's
I know.
really-
A lot of
it's really bad.
podcasts and audiobooks.
Yeah.
Or,
But at least the fucking, there's rest stops and shit over
Oh,
there.
yeah, yeah. It's
You know,
plenty.
you're driving through Pennsylvania, it's hilly, windy, and you're if you gotta go, and you're fuck, I gotta hold this for 20 miles.
I know.
And
yeah.
so, shit, I mean, we're definitely super excited for you. I know a lot of
Thank you.
people are. I mean, I think we covered everything. Can't think of anything else. Yeah, so I mean, I guess all I could really say is go out there and buy MLB The Show, so we can see the Major League version of Jason and
Yeah.
get on the sticks as him. I guess I'm gonna have to play fantasy baseball now again. Yeah.
You twist your arm.
Yeah, right. That's a lot of work.
Oh,
speaking
it
of
is. It's
analytics.
a
I
lot.
don't do fantasy baseball anymore.
It's a lot.
I attempted 2 years ago, and I'm like, well, why?
I don't think I've ever done it. It's too many games.
Mm-hmm.
Too many things to follow.
The only analytics I can look at anymore are for the business. I don't want to
Yeah.
look at it for anything else. It drives me insane. So like I said, everyone's super excited. I'm sure everyone in your family is super excited. We're definitely going to keep following you. Definitely keep us posted and everything. Wish you the best of luck.
You're gonna have to
Anything
make
else?
it out there.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to.
Hopefully we can make it out there.
Yeah.
Or I have any. Is the schedule released for the season?
It is, but subject to change because there might be some delays or something.
Are they slated to play a full season?
Yep.
Really?
As of right now, it's a full 162 starting on April 1st.
And Any in New York?
Yeah, we'll play the Mets. I don't know exactly when it is, but
I
yeah,
haven't
you play.
even looked this schedule.
Yeah, you play. They're operating right now as if it's going to be a normal season where National League teams play every other National League team. So that'll be the Giants will be playing the Phillies, the Mets, the Nationals, teams like that. So relatively close to here.
I mean, shit, if you play the Phillies and, like, that works out for us, we're going to go watch them in Philly. Because, like, that, have you ever been there?
Yeah.
That's a nice stadium.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I enjoyed that stadium a lot.
Crazy to be talking about this like this with Jason. Right?
Yeah,
It's
right?
crazy.
So, like, I went there. Actually, what's funny is...
I mean, it's not crazy, but it's awesome.
I went to a Phillies game with my buddy Pat, who was my roommate in college. That was the first night of his bachelor party weekend. And we went to a Phillies game. Pat was... So we were like Hogan and Macho Man when it comes to heckling in college. And like we used to show up pregame for like the shoot around for Syracuse basketball games and just like taunt all the players. Like we'd print out like the rosters. So we went to Philly for the first night and we watched it was the Nationals versus the Phillies. So we were talking mad shit to Bryce Harper. And I mean those seats were dope.
Yeah.
It
Beautiful
was
park.
not expensive at all for anything there. And, yeah, it's just... I love how Philly has it. It's like everything's all in one spot.
Right there.
Yeah, so...
I forgot what it's called, but it's they're all, like, literally right there.
Yeah, like Phillies,
Yes.
the Eagles, and the Sixers.
Yeah.
Literally on...
And
Like
the
right
Flyers
across
too,
from
right?
the street corner. Yeah, right across from the street corner from each other.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's
crazy.
You ever been there or no?
Philadelphia?
Yeah.
A couple times, yeah.
But, like, in that area where all the teams are...
I feel like I must have been at some point.
It's super convenient.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why New York can't get their shit together and do that.
I don't know.
It's like you literally take the train and you're there.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, which game am I going to now? And it's
That's
so
awesome.
beautiful. Yeah. So,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, we have to watch you there. I don't fucking mind. I'll drive
Yeah.
us down there. Obviously, I've been looking for an excuse to go to City because I heard that's a beautiful stadium
Yep.
too. If you wind up playing the Yankees, like I said, I haven't looked at the schedule. Sweet.
Yeah. No, I don't think the Yankees are not on the schedule this year.
So I guess we're going to San Fran.
Yeah. Beautiful city.
It is.
Beautiful city.
So, except for the poop in the street, right? We could play a game out there.
I
We're
didn't
like,
see any of that.
Human or dog? Human or dog?
Oh, jeez.
I didn't
put it
see
on
any of
an
that.
Instagram
I saw
poll.
good stuff.
So yeah.
Oh, God.
But yeah, no. Anything else to add? I know I've said that a dozen times already. Just want to make sure we
Keep
get it
hitting
all
on
in.
points, I know.
But yeah. Anything you have to add or anything?
No, thanks for having me.
No problem.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, it was definitely our pleasure. Fucking super excited, super excited. So you would think I have no other words in my vocabulary, but yeah, Miss Hinchcliffe would not be happy with me right now. All those SAT words out the window. So yeah, I guess you could say we are ebullient. There we go.
That's a good word.
Boom.
You wanted to ask Jason about.
I wasn't really serious. But...
Oh. Okay.
Fuck it. We're here. Let's do it live, right?
Oh, I don't. I mean.
No, yeah, I'm not gonna put this one on you. It was totally me just messing around. So like what? Bumble updates, Tinder and J-Date. Have you been toying with that, or is
I
that
got
the lock?
no updates for you guys.
That's good. So
I got nothing.
that's why you haven't tested positive.
Yeah, right. I've been staying clear.
Guy's been locked in. You hear that? So that's how you stay
Very
focused.
focused.
Yeah. It's none of that voodoo vagina magic distracting him from the task at hand. You are fucking locked
Focus.
in. Focus. What is so funny? You act like it doesn't exist. So
I didn't say it didn't.
so yeah, no. Fucking pumped. I mean, even if it's just watching on TV, then that's great too, because I mean I follow you regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen you play on TV, so yeah,
No, I appreciate it.
another type of jersey to add to the repertoire.
For sure.
I might make a custom Giants Vosler like black T-shirt. Like, you know, I get like the created one, just put Vosler in the back. Then I'll go sleeveless crop top.
Love it.
Boom.
Love it.
I might order two.
No.
Let's get one for
There you go.
Eden also.
No, two for me.
Two for you.
And then we'll get one for Aiden. Any advice that you picked up from this off season that you figured about yourself that you might want to tell any of our our athletes?
Baseball players specifically, I think my biggest thing the last couple off seasons that I've never done before, and I think it's changed my game, is I actually like challenged myself with pitching machines and high velocity and really good breaking balls. And in the past, I would just do kind of, regular batting practice, BP, or flips, tee work and stuff. And that stuff's all great, but if you don't challenge yourself, it's kind of like if you're benching and you never go above 135, you're probably gonna tap out at something. So I like fire up the pitching machine, 100 miles an hour, 95 miles an hour, really make it difficult on me. And actually, I fail a lot during the practice, whereas in the past in college and stuff, like if I was failing, I'd be like, all right, turn that down a little bit, But now I'm really pushing myself. So I think that's an underrated thing that a lot of baseball players are not doing. Not enough challenging stuff.
Working outside their comfort zone.
Exactly.
Nice.
Failing in the cage, not just hitting line drive after line drive off of 5 mile an hour flip. And again, there's a time and a place for flips, but it's need to fail a little bit, need to challenge yourself, need to get outside your comfort zone.
That also helps you deal with anxiety too.
Yeah.
Because like when at least that your body knows like, all right, I've been stressed before.
Yeah,
I can
absolutely.
get through it. Where I think like that's actually a big thing with athletes today, regardless, or at least in middle school, high school, and even college ages that I'm seeing, just the inability to deal with stress.
Yeah.
Of any kind.
Yeah.
So I guess the more you can tolerate on a regular basis, it's only going to benefit you later on.
100%.
So it's
No
huge.
doubt.
I love that. So find a way to deal with your stress. Right?
Do things that challenge you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
Let's push yourself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great. That's a great takeaway from this. So, so Desi, keep chucking up those jump shots. The Brooklyn Nets will come calling.
Someday.
Yeah. They need a compliment to Harris. So.
Yeah, they need a smaller white guy.
Yeah.
They've got the tall ones covered.
Yeah.
Under 6 feet.
They need a smaller American white guy.
Yeah.
They keep grabbing these
We'll
like.
figure out the Moneyball way to phrase that.
Yeah. Well, if Team GPA was a thing, then they'd be hitting you up right away. So, I guess that's all we have for today's episode. But I mean, hey, maybe a Zoom episode
absolutely.
is in the future. And if anybody has any questions they'd like to ask Jason, you just let us know. You can reach us on Twitter and Instagram at ODFitnessNY. Email us at info@overdrivefitnessny.com. You can slide into Titan and Braj's DMs also. They're on the Instagrams.
Jason too.
Jason, did you change your Instagram or no?
I think I changed the name a while back.
Is it J Vosler 22?
I don't know.
Or was it just Jason Vosler? I don't even know. J Vos.
Jason_Vosler.
Jason
Got
_ Vosler.
Yes.
There we go. At Jason _ Vosler.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's all I really have to add. I'm sure that was a lengthy one. I didn't keep track of time for today. But yeah.
Well, it's important because
Yeah.
Jason's going to be a bar for all.
So yeah, that's all we have for this week's episode of Overdrive AF. It was a pleasure to have you on here
Yeah,
again.
thanks for having me.
And we're looking forward to seeing you in the Giants uniform. And so
Big screen.
yes. Catch you guys all next time on another episode of Overdrive AF.